Hello, can you guys hear me? Am I coming through loud and clear? Yes, Gypsy Warrior. Perhaps that's someone watching. Perhaps that someone is watching. Perhaps it's you. How's everybody doing this evening? Alright, I'm coming through clear. Good, good, good. Alright, cool, cool, cool. Cool, 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 cool. Let's see who's with me so far here. Dave Vanderhoff. Dave, what's up? How are you doing? Southpaw 82, Gypsy Warrior, Jeff Overing, Josh O'Brien, Aaron Lewis, Steak Sauce, Nocturnal Toothbrush, Southpaw 82, what's up with you? Robert Long, Anthony Jordan, DJ, yeah. Brandy Fernando, hello, how are you? I'm coming through good, okay. Hey, what's up, Junker37 over on Twitch? Hope you're doing well. Tonight we are going to be talking about the mysterious death of Missy Bevers. One of my favorite unsolved mysteries. It wasn't on the original Unsolved Mysteries. It could very well end up on one of the new episodes of Unsolved Mysteries. But it's a really, really interesting mystery that I wanted to share with you guys. So we'll give it, take a couple of more minutes here just to kind of shoot the bull before we dive into the mystery of Missy Bevers. Doing good, Brandy. Doing good. I'm doing good, Aaron. Thank you. What are you up to tonight, Junker? So yeah, this is an interesting case. Is anybody here ever hear of the Missy Bevers case? Oh, thank you, Gypsy. Yeah, it was fun last night. It went a little longer than I'd expected, but it's fun. Ah, very cool, Junker. Very cool. Godzilla or Kong, who wins in the fight? Neither one. I mean, they may have a little tussle, but I mean they'll team up to face a common foe, I'm sure. This was not an episode of Unsolved Mysteries. This happened after the original Unsolved Mysteries went off the air. Now, there's a good possibility it could show up on the new Unsolved Mysteries. I think it'd be a good one for the new Unsolved Mysteries. But this was not an old Unsolved Mystery. Hey Paula, how are you doing? You don't like the new season of Unsolved Mysteries, Z Alves? I liked it. I liked it quite a bit. I actually watched the French episode just the other day, and I thought it was pretty good. Do I remember the Robert Stack action figure? No, I do not. Unsolved Mysteries is on, Unsolved Mysteries is everywhere. You can find just about every episode on YouTube, on Tubi. They're everywhere. Would love to see a weekly Unsolved Mystery stream. Wow. Maybe. Maybe we can make that happen. If enough people want it, maybe we can make it happen. A live stream on Resurrection Mary. I'm not familiar with Resurrection Mary, Jim. Do I remember Rock and Roll Radio? Of course. Yeah, I don't know. I don't see the Godzilla versus Kong thing playing out as like, it's just those two duking it out for 2.5 hours. I'm sure it's going to end up being some kind of, they'll have their little roll, and then they'll face off against some kind of common foe. And in the end, they'll all be buddies. Kong and Godzilla sharing a cold one, I can definitely see that happening. I saw somebody in the chat said that they watched Blood Vessel. Aaron, you stayed up after the stream last night and watched Blood Vessel. Oh, what'd you think of it? Oh, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, this shirt's available in my TeePublic store right now. So if you, and everything in my TeePublic store has been marked down 35%. So that link is in the description of the video, or of the stream. So if you, you need some new horror shirts, horror hoodies, horror, long sleeve tees, or if you want like, cool coffee mugs, phone cases, I mean, you name it, it's all there. It's all there. Have I seen I See You? Isn't there a couple of movies called I See You? That's a good point, Nocturnal Toothbrush. Yeah, I don't know how King Kong would hold up against the, Godzilla's flame breath. Seems like one big breath of that would take out Kong, but I don't know, maybe he's got very thick fur. Why do I think Film Rise haven't published the Carl Malden Unsolved Mysteries? I don't know. Good question. Oh, Helen Hunt. The Helen Hunt I See You. No, I've not seen that one. I've not seen that one. Kong is impervious to flames. Okay. Well, but it's not. Is it flame or is it? It's like some sort of atomic. I don't know. Check out the Unsolved Mysteries episode on Kathy Hobbs. That one doesn't ring a bell. If it's an old school episode, I'm sure I've seen it. It's just not ringing a bell, though. Yeah, pure radiation. That's what it is. how did the vamps end up in the chained coffins if the crew was offed? Um, how did I think, well, they were brought onto the boat, chained up in the coffins. Now, where they found them, where they found the coffins, I don't know, but they were brought on the boats, chained in the chained up coffins, and like the little girl vampire somehow escaped and wreaked havoc. Jeremy's doing good, Junker. Jeremy's doing good. We're going to be doing a new Yay It's Mail Day unboxing stream here pretty soon. So Jeremy's looking forward to that. He mentioned that today because we've got some mail saved up, and he saw it and he was like, what did he say? Something about do a live stream or something like that. And I was like, yeah, we're waiting for just one more, and then we'll do the new live stream. So. But yeah, geez. We'll get started here with the case here momentarily. How was your guys' Thursday? And have you got any plans for the weekend? That's just how Jeremy rolls. He likes to go to bed early. Early to bed, early to rise. No, the little girl killed the crew, Aaron. The little girl vamp took care of the crew. Hey, Dr. Splinter, what's up? How are you doing? You've had a productive week so far, Nocturnal Toothbrush. That's cool. If you guys haven't dropped a like on the YouTube stream, please do so. I'd appreciate it. Where does the MonsterVerse go after Godzilla versus Kong? I have no idea. More Kong standalone movies and more Godzilla standalone movies, pretty much. That's where it's probably wanting to head. Because I mean, really, has either of the King Kong movies been like? Has either of the Godzilla movies really been huge successes? I mean, box office wise, was the Kong movie, was that a huge success box office wise? I mean, maybe they're trying to do this little team up here in order to, I don't know, like really kickstart both of those series, you know? Resurrection Mary is one of my favorite Unsolved Mysteries segments. I always thought they thought the wrong person was Resurrection Mary. Jeremy gets up very early in the morning. He's up pretty much with the sun. But I think Jeremy doesn't necessarily go straight to sleep when he goes to bed at 8. I think it's kind of like his decompressing time. You know, he lays down, he sort of, just decompresses. And then after about an hour, he probably goes to sleep. Because I know he does not go directly to sleep at 8 once he goes to bed. Sadly, they haven't been the biggest success, but let's face it, it's hard for your movie to be too big of a success with how spaced out the Marvel movies are. I mean, I guess the question is, do people? I don't know. Is Godzilla and King Kong really that big of a draw? Is it something that audiences are, dying to see? Or are they just kind of seeing it because, oh, it's the big summer movie, so I'll go watch it and whatever. That's kind of the impression that I got with both of the Godzilla movies. Weren't that people were super excited about them. People were excited about them because, oh, it's a big summer movie and it's, a big monster and, you know, looks like fun. So, no, Jeff. Is there still any hope for the Universal Dark Universe? Yes, yes, there is, because I mean they've kind of rebooted it with the Invisible Man, and they're gonna do a Wolfman movie with Ryan Gosling, and I think if that makes money, then they'll be right back on board. There'll be a new Dracula. There'll be a new Frankenstein. A new I think it would be better if they held off on doing a Dracula and a Frankenstein movie for a while and focus. Let's do the Wolfman, and if that's successful, maybe like a Creature from the Black Lagoon. I think that would be cool. I'd be more excited for a Creature from the Black Lagoon movie than I would be another Dracula you know what I mean? And if they do them like the Invisible Man, they keep the budget kind of low and you know what I mean? Focus on the story, except instead of, trying to make a big spectacle of it, then it could be successful. Do I remember which Unsolved Mysteries episode had a Civil War ghost? Or were there multiple ones of those? Seems to me like there were more than one. There were so many episodes that involved ghosts, though. Gibbs Retro Cack, what's up, man? How are you doing? I agree. Start with the smaller ones first, make them good, and go from there. Yeah, I agree. I agree. And I think people are so burned out on, Dracula and the Mummy still has the stink of the Tom Cruise Mummy from a few years ago, so they don't need to go anywhere near the Mummy for a long, long time. So yeah, do some of the lesser known Universal monsters and build it up to your Dracula, your Frankenstein, the Mummy, and so on. Rocker's Sweet Beard. Hey Piz, love the Unsolved Mystery streams. Just like you, I was traumatized by the reenactments as a kid. Yeah. Yeah, Bride of Frankenstein. I think they've got to do a Frankenstein before they do a Bride, I think. So no, Captain Halloween, you've not missed much. We've just been kind of shooting the bull here. Giving some time for people to file in before we dive into the Missy Bevers case. We were talking about the possibilities for the new Universal Dark Universe, or whatever they called it. You're disappointed they're not continuing from the Mummy 2017? And that's because, I mean, it was not a success. They'll just pretend like that one didn't happen. I have met Andre Gower, Robert. Yes. Hey, Sean Senior, what's up, man? How are you doing? So, are you guys ready to dive into the mystery of Missy Bevers? Has anybody heard of the Missy Bevers case? Bevers, Beavers. I've heard it pronounced different ways. I'll probably pronounce it both ways tonight. Beavers, Bevers. But I do believe it's Beavers. But um, is anybody here familiar with that case? Mildly junker. So you've heard of it. I don't think anybody wants to. I don't mind some of those Brendan Fraser mummy movies. I just don't think anybody wants to see. If they're gonna make a fresh start, they're gonna make a fresh start. So, well, I mean, I think that was another kind of false start. Was the Van Helsing film? That one didn't do well, and so that was kind of a false start. Also, all right. Well, I'm gonna get us started here talking about the Missy Bevers case. And let me get this. Let me get this moved over. Yeah, let me shrink me a little bit. All right, there we go. There is Missy Bevers. And there's various photos of her here, photos with her family, photos with her husband, just various photos of Ms. Bevers. But in the early morning hours of April 18th, 2016, Terry Missy Bevers, a 45-year-old wife and mother of three, was murdered in Creekside Church of Christ in Midlothian, Texas. Missy arrived at the church around 4:20 a.m. for a 5 a.m. workout class that she instructed. Unbeknownst to her, she was not alone inside the church. This is surveillance footage from inside the church shortly before Missy Bevers arrived. And as you can see there's somebody walking around in police tactical gear, trying to jimmy open doors. At around 3:50 a.m., this person in the tactical gear broke into the church. The surveillance footage shows someone in SWAT gear casually walking around the church, breaking windows, and attempting to jimmy open doors. Now, one thing I want you guys to pay attention to here is the way that this person walks. They have a very unique gait. At around 5 a.m., 911 was called when two of her students arrived at the church for their workout. They discovered Missy there. She'd been stabbed multiple times in the chest and in the head. She was pronounced dead at the scene. So here's this person breaking out glass on one of the doors. Yeah. So that individual is the main suspect in Missy's murder. Now, the day before she was killed, she posted on her Facebook page that this workout class was going to happen the following morning. Rain, sleet, snow. It was supposed to come a storm, and she was letting everybody know, even if it storms, even if it pours rain, we're still going to have this workout. Her Facebook page was public. So basically, everyone who wanted to know could have seen exactly where she was going to be and at approximately what time. So let's take another look at that surveillance footage real quick. What are you guys thinking about this surveillance footage? What are you gleaning from the surveillance footage? There's something unnerving about the walk, like he knows he's going to do what he wants and no one can stop him. So do you think that, does anybody think that, put a 1 in the chat if you think that this was a completely random crime, that this person broke into the church and Missy interrupted them and she was just in the wrong place at the wrong time. I put a 2 in the chat if you think that this person broke into the church with the intention of killing Ms. Bevers. And one thing you've got to keep in mind too, according to the church, nothing was taken, nothing was stolen, and the police have pretty much determined that the break-in was just a setup. Now watch the person here. Watch them break this window on the door. I mean, look at how cool, calm, and collected this person is. Walking around the church. Clearly, I think this is somebody who's been in this church before. They know the layout. If you're somebody who's broken into a church to vandalize it or to steal something, I mean, wouldn't you do that, as quickly as possible and try and get out? This person's taking their time. And when it does come to like breaking, like this person, they're trying to jimmy open this door, but they can't get it open. And when it shows them again here, let's see if I can pull that up again. When they walk here, and watch how just kind of nonchalantly they break out this window. They have no fear of anybody walking in on them. They have, it's like somebody walking around their own house. That's how cool, calm, and collected this person is. So what are you guys saying about that? See a lot of 2s. I do see some 1s though. Walk didn't look much like a police officer. It seemed way too casual for 3 a.m. period. Secondly, I hate them wearing police gear because it is conflicting, because gut instinct is that police are safe. That's true. That's true. Wonder where they got all the police gear. Well, I mean, you can order a lot of that stuff just out of a catalog. Envy Dabbler. I don't think it's Mr. Wagger. Jeez. But yeah, I see a lot of twos. I think you guys, yeah. This person was definitely there with the intention of doing harm to Miss Bevers. And making it look like a break-in is completely a setup. No doubt about that. And definitely to me also, this is not the first time this person has been in that church. No way. They know that church like the back of their hand. They're walking around that place like it's their house. You know what I mean? So, let's take a look at the suspects. And suspect number 1 is Brandon Beavers, Missy's wife. So let's see what he's got to say here.
Y'all ready?
Yeah, give me a second. I have an issue with my camera. 1 second, sorry. Brian, just tell us, what are you going through right now? I mean, today, right now?
Well, I don't want to do interviews, okay? I just want to make a statement. Is that all right?
Tell us what you want to say.
Okay. Yeah, I don't.
I said, hang on, I'm having a problem with the camera.
Yeah, let him get ready. And y'all can funnel this up to the other media outlets, okay? And
You don't stab somebody in the face and in the chest like that because you're startled that they found
We
you.
appreciate you coming
Very good
out.
point.
I know it's got to be terribly difficult, and we're really just hoping you'll speak from your heart.
I've heard conflicting numbers as far as how many times she was stabbed in the chest and head, but it was multiple times in the chest and in the head.
I haven't had a whole lot of time to, I haven't had a lot of time to get emotional about this yet. I've been dealing with the immediate needs of my children. I mean, this morning I've had some.
I think the audio here is very low. Can you guys hear it okay?
Thinking about the events that occurred yesterday morning, and so I'm starting with that process today. You got it?
Yes, sir. Thank you. Sorry about that, sir.
No, the main purpose here today is solely to communicate to the people in the community and to everybody watching and listening. My wife was she was a godly woman, and she was a very she was very passionate about changing people's lives with fitness and changing their mental attitude towards their body and themselves and their abilities in life. And
is that any better?
Personally, I haven't involved myself in a lot of what she does, but now that I'm seeing some of her campers, I've noticed a substantial impact that she's had on so many people's lives, and I'm very proud of her. And I just want it to be publicly known that we are very proud of all of the passion and effort that she's put into so many people's lives. As far as the perpetrator, we still don't know who he is, but I ask everybody out there to review the video. I think you can get the video on the Midlothian Police Department's Facebook website. Look at the video. The person has a very distinct walk. There's just a very distinct mannerism about this person that should be very apparent to somebody. Okay? I don't believe there was a vehicle there. This perpetrator, I don't know if he walked into the facility or if he got, we don't know how he arrived at the facility.
Hey, Maddie.
But
how are you doing?
I'm just hoping that somebody either saw something or somebody can recognize the mannerisms of this person on the video. it's very important to us to get some closure with that, and but at the same time, I want to definitely publicize that my wife was she was a great woman, a great a wife, a great mother, a great friend, and she will be missed by many people. But please, please be diligent as you can, and review the video and report anything to the Midlothian Police Department. And I appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I guess this is your last time. You're not going to.
So, a couple of things about this dude. At the time of his wife's murder, he was 600 miles away on a fishing trip with his brother, and it was proven that he was 600 miles away. Or they said that the cell phone towers confirmed that he was at the location he was supposed to be with his brother 600 miles away. I guess they pinged his phone or something like that. So at least his phone was 600 miles away with his brother fishing. And he's kind of a tall, thin guy, so he doesn't really fit the look of the prime suspect. That's not to say he couldn't have kind of, wore layers, but the police really never took him too seriously as a suspect. Now, when he was notified by the police that his wife was dead, they said that he had a very interesting response. He didn't ask what, how, what happened. His response was very, just like him speaking to the news here. It was very cool, calm, and collected. Monotone. Now, I saw a couple of people mention marriage problems in the chat. Now, it was determined that their marriage had been rocky as of late. They were both reportedly having financial issues and potentially infidelity on Missy's part. Brandon actually admitted that he knew that Missy was having an affair on him at the time, and actually named the other guy who was part of that affair. So, I don't know. What do you guys think about Brandon as a suspect? Gone on a fishing trip is a pretty old alibi. If he did it, he could have been imitating someone else's walk, since he's bringing so much attention to it. Yes, there's more suspects. There's definitely more suspects. So Ripper makes a good point. He hired a killer, you think? Great alibi. That's not the speech of a broken-hearted man. His wife was killed yesterday, and he looks like that. He did not miss any sleep and definitely wasn't up all night crying. Looks like he got a full 8 hours rest, no emotion. That's true, Nocturnal Toothbrush. Usually in these kind of cases, it's usually the person closest to the victim. So the police did determine that they had a rocky relationship as of late. There had been infidelity on her part. There was some speculation about infidelity on his part, but it seems like there was most certainly some infidelity happening on her part. I didn't see anything about life insurance. Everything that I've listened to, everything that I've read about this case, I didn't hear anything about life insurance policies. So he has an alibi. He doesn't necessarily fit the profile. However, there is someone very close to Brandon who is also close to Missy who does fit the profile. So let's take a peek at Brandon's father, Missy's father-in-law. All right, so the bloody clothing that the father-in-law took to the cleaners, it was determined that the blood was actually their dog, their pet dog. But we're going to check out something else here momentarily. Let me see what else we got going on here in the chat. Jobu, hello. Long-time listener, first-time caller. This is clearly a crime of passion based on the stabbings. Definitely someone she knew. Absolutely. Absolutely. Now, keep in mind, too, that she was no pushover. She was very athletic. She was in excellent shape. Her Camp Gladiator was what she called her workout routine. And apparently it was grueling. So she was no pushover. And whoever it was, I mean, unless they completely took her by surprise, I mean, they would have had their hands full with her. There's no doubt about that. The dad, brother, and husband were all in on it. The father has the right build. Hey, Chucky Fanatic, how are you doing? You think the suspect walks like a woman, Dave? We'll get into that here in a little bit, too. Okay, the husband could legitimately be innocent, but what if his father didn't like the fact that she was cheating on his son? That's a possibility. So let's compare the walk of the father-in-law with the walk of the suspect, their gait. Now, this is a video from Tavi1's YouTube channel. So give them full credit. Hopefully they don't mind me borrowing footage, borrowing their video for the purpose of this stream. But let's check this out. Have a look. Notice how the suspect walks. Notice how the father-in-law walks. I'd say it's very similar. I'd say it's very, very similar. So that's definitely, yeah. So what do you guys think about that little comparison? The swing of the arms is similar. It's very similar. Even the arm swing is the same. You're 1000% convinced it's the father? Well, the father has an alibi too. On the night of Missy's death, the father was in California on travel. And it's apparently been confirmed that his alibi is good. So the father and the son are both out of town the night that she's murdered. Now, the son's fishing trip with his brother, that wasn't just a random thing. That was like a yearly trip that they did together. So that was not necessarily out of the ordinary. The California trip for the dad, I don't know. I've really not heard very much about what he was doing in California other than he was in California. So both the father and the husband were out of town when this happened. Very, very convenient. Now, let's watch this footage again, the surveillance footage, and you guys guess about how tall do you think this person is? If you had to guesstimate this person's height, about how tall do you think they are? Hey, Lauren. So judging by the heights of the doors, how tall you think this person is? 5'9"? Sting the Scorpion, you say 5'9". Racker's Sweet Beard, you say 5'9". He's the same height as the father, probably around 5'6". Sub 6 feet for sure. 5'8" or 5'9". So the police first estimated that the suspect was 6 feet tall, which seems like you guys are right around that same height, around 6 feet. Average door height is about 6'6". So initially the police said, we're looking for a man, a white man, a Caucasian man around 6 feet tall. But they went back and reevaluated the footage, and they changed that to, they believe this suspect's height is somewhere between 5'2" and 5'7". How do you start at 6 feet and then change it to 5'2" to 5'7"? That's a pretty big, that's a pretty big gap. I find it very hard to believe that they can't, the church is still there. Measure the door and then look at the suspect's height in, compared to the door height. You should be able to get a pretty reasonable estimation as far as how tall they are. Here the police go from 5 to 6 feet to somewhere between 5'2" and 5'7". To me, that's crazy. Now, I want to ask you guys to put, if you think the suspect is a man, put an M in the chat. If you think the suspect is a female, put an F in the chat. Because at first, when their estimation was 6 feet, they said a man. When they adjusted it to between 5'2" to 5'7", they said, well, it could be a woman too. The whole casual nature is extremely bizarre. This is somebody who knows this church. This is definitely not their first time in this church. They are completely cool, calm, and collected. They're not in any kind of rush. They know the layout. It's like they're walking around their own house. If you're there to steal or if you're there to vandalize, I mean, you'd do it and you'd get out and be quick about it. Here, this person's not at all. So I'm seeing, let's see here. I'm seeing mostly M's. So you guys think that the killer is a male? I called it was a female a while back. You know, let's watch this footage here, because when we see the suspect breaking out this window, the way that they're swinging the hammer, to me, looks very feminine. So watch him break the window here. That looks very feminine to me. Again, that looks very feminine. So what if it's a woman that is wearing oversized boots and that's causing them to walk the way that they're walking? You think the shoulders are male? Well, I mean, they are wearing, like, you know, this gear that makes them look bigger than they are. And they could have padded it, you know? Probably the wife of the guy she was having an affair with. That's it. If that's a woman, though, she must have really gotten the drop on the victim to overpower her. Yeah. Yeah. Well, you know, she could have, because, I mean, you know, Missy showed up there early in the morning. She had no idea. So, I mean, this person could have been waiting in the shadows. You know, she's setting up for the day's, you know, the day's workout, getting everything ready for her class to show up. And keep in mind, I believe it started at 5 a.m. And so the murder happened between a window of about like 20 or 30 minutes. So, I mean, the killer could have, you know, blindsided her. You think the person's trying to throw off suspicion? I mean, that's it's a possibility. Maybe it's a man with gloves that don't fit. I don't know. That's a good, I mean, yeah. So, there is another suspect in the case. Now, this guy, and I couldn't find the footage. I know the footage was out there at some point. This is a guy who he was hired by the church to do security. And the local news crew that was there at Missy's funeral, and the local news crew that was there covering the funeral closed in on this guy walking around the parking lot. And his walk was eerily similar to the suspects. So let's hear about Mr. Bobby Wayne Henry.
New developments in the 2016 mysterious murder of a Midlothian fitness instructor and mother of 3. Missy Bevers' husband tells ABC News he's done searching for the killer. But police are still very much trying to solve this case. Charlotte Huffman joins us now with what she's been looking into for months now. Charlotte?
Izzy, we've been asking Midlothian police about the investigation, especially after we learned of a man who was questioned by police and a search warrant that led them to hold him for 70+ days. You've seen the chilling surveillance video. Someone dressed in police tactical gear carrying a hammer and roaming the halls of Creekside Church in Midlothian, where police found the body of the 45-year-old mother of 3. The video remains a key piece of evidence.
I ask everybody out there to review the video. The person has a very distinct walk.
Last year, amid a flood of tips, a name emerged: Bobby Henry.
Hi, how are you?
In this never-before-seen interview, Henry spoke exclusively to us about the day Midlothian police executed a search warrant on his house.
I thought somebody was pranking me. They said, step out on your front porch. I step out on my front porch. There's 8 police officers standing out there in full tactical gear with weapons drawn. And I'm like, I'm just, stunned.
Records show police honed in on Henry because he walks with a limp and had access to equipment similar to what the killer wore.
I told them from the get-go I didn't know this woman. Never heard the name Missy Bevers before I heard it on the news.
He passed a polygraph, his alibi checked out, and months after sitting in jail and just days after our September interview, police cleared Henry's name and released him from jail. Midlothian police are continuing to follow up on tips, even using a forensic podiatrist to analyze that distinctive walk, but the killer remains on the loose.
My wife was she was a great woman, a great a wife, a great mother, a great friend.
And now, after a year and a half of searching, Beavers' husband says in a statement to ABC News he's not giving up hope, but, quote, "My biggest priority now is my daughter's welfare and to do whatever I can to help us move past the pain." He goes on to say, "My faith is in the Almighty and the investigators who are working to this day to provide justice and closure." Well, since the murder, that forensic podiatrist tells us he's analyzed several walks, none of which, though, have led to an arrest in the Beavers case. Charlotte Huff.
So here's the thing about this dude here. All right, so this dude, Bobby Wayne Henry, he's a former police officer and security guard at his church. He went to a different church than Missy did. He was a tactical officer back in the day. So he would have an outfit similar to the suspects in his closet, quite possibly. In 2003, he was accused of sexual assault at gunpoint by his mother-in-law, costing him his job. Years later, he sexually assaulted his sister-in-law, also at gunpoint. Now, the reason he's in jail for this interview, and they didn't mention this on the news there, is when he became a suspect, the cops did a search of his house. And they found on his computer and on his cell phone pornographic images involving children. His alibi for the night of Missy's murder was that he was home and that his newborn woke him up at 3 a.m. and he was awake with the newborn at 3 a.m. So he's actually saying that he was awake during the same time, or right around the same time, that Missy was killed. It's pretty wild. But he has since been, he's no longer a suspect. He is no longer a suspect. Is it just me, or does Bobby Wayne Henry sound like a serial killer name? Seems like a pretty strong suspect, but yeah, they've cleared him. He passed a polygraph, and apparently I think his wife was also there, so she confirmed his alibi. But definitely, this is a creepy character here. Now, there was some surveillance footage at a sporting goods store that is nearby the church where Missy was murdered. And as we see here, this car does some really weird things. And this is all taking place right around the time just before the suspect broke in to the church. So let's take a look at this vehicle here.
That they did have a new person of interest as recent as last month, but that person has since been cleared. Steve?
So yeah, the police at this point don't think that the car and the suspect have anything to do with each other. It's just odd that car was doing what it was doing the same night, right around the time of Missy's death. So that's kind of I'll get into this little part of it later on, but small towns, everybody knows everybody. It's just hard to believe that, Keep in mind, people, that most people don't even defend themselves when attacked. They cower and block, but hardly anyone actually fights back. She could have been fit, but not defended herself. That's a possibility. I think she got taken from, she got taken by surprise. Thank you for subscribing, Russell. Let's see, what else have we got here? Okay, so for everyone who may be interested in the possibility that a female could be responsible for these murders, here is Terry's father-in-law. Let me see if I can move this out of the way so you guys can see. All right, so there's the father-in-law. We've already heard all about the father-in-law. Here is the mother-in-law. And as you can see, the mother-in-law here looks a little, she looks like a good-sized lady. And now I'm not trying to point fingers or anything like that. I'm just, looking at the facts here. She is a fairly good-sized woman, it looks like. But if we scroll down here, you'll see this is what she looks like. This is what she looked like whenever this picture was taken. Not sure when this picture was taken. Here's what she looks like now. So she's much thinner now. And let me get this back over here. All right, now we're going to hear from the mother-in-law.
Details in that chilling murder of a fitness instructor at a Texas church. The suspect seen on that surveillance tape dressed in SWAT gear, and the victim's family is now speaking out. ABC's Ryan Smith has the latest. Good morning, Ryan.
Good morning, George. You talk about Missy Bevers, the mother of three, killed, but at the same time, her family now coming forward, speaking out, asking those who know the killer to please come forward and turn that person in.
Was this mass murderer caught on camera, ominously dressed in tactical gear, targeting fitness instructor Missy Bevers? This morning, as the manhunt for the mother of three's killer intensifies, her family is now saying they believe this wasn't just a tragic case of being in the wrong place at the wrong time. Bevers' mother-in-law, Marcia Tucker, says she believes the killer may have tracked the fitness instructor's movements on social media.
The person probably knew by looking at her Facebook, just seeing what time. That's how she showed her other boot campers, what time the classes started. Whoever knew she gets there early, they got there earlier.
The 45-year-old was last seen entering this church at 4:20 a.m. on April 18th, setting up for a boot camp class. The suspected killer caught on surveillance video at 3:50 a.m., dressed head to toe in police SWAT gear. Students for her 5 a.m. class discovering Bevers' body.
I can't tell if the person is a man or a woman. The police estimate this person's 6 foot tall, but if you look at the mannerisms, how they walk, I mean, there's something very distinctive there. Somebody has to be able to point this out.
But more than a week later, police aren't releasing any new leads or motives. The beloved wife and mother laid to rest on Saturday. Her family pleads for the killer to come forward. Tucker writing him or her an open letter on Facebook.
You know who you are. Your husband, wife, and family members know who you are. They know by your special walk. Give some honor back to your family. God will forgive you, and we will forgive you.
Now, Marcia says that Missy's daughters are doing better than expected, but that they're asking her how long they will be sad. She hasn't heard.
Is there any footage of her walking? No, I've looked. And really, in everything that I've read and everything that I've watched. Thank you, Sarah. In everything that I've read and everything that I've watched, she's not even been brought up as a potential suspect. The mother-in-law. No one really knows what we do if attacked, fight or flight, or something else. Depends on the person. Well, I mean, that's true too. I mean, unless she gets whacked in the back of the head and, totally blindsided. We're assuming that it was a straight up, she saw this person coming. I don't think she saw this person coming. Or what if she saw the person and she was like, "What are you doing?" And the person goes, wait, it's me. You know me, I'm so-and-so. And she goes, "Oh, well, what are you doing here messing around and, blah, blah, blah." And then whack, you know what I mean? And she's done. What about the guy she was having an affair with? Well, those are some interesting tidbits here. Missy claimed to have received a quote-unquote creepy message from someone not long before her death on social media. Who that creepy person was, we don't know. The gentleman that she was having an affair with, she was exchanging quote-unquote romantic communications with a man for months prior to her death. He's been identified. I believe his first name was Kevin, maybe. And I believe the police interviewed him and they don't believe he's a suspect, or he's not being considered a suspect. So she was having some sort of relationship with another man. That opens the door to, well, what about this? Does this other man have a wife? Does this other man have a girlfriend that wouldn't have taken it very kindly? And who's the creepy guy who's getting in touch with her on social media and leaving her creepy messages? There was another suspect in the case who was a former student of hers. A female who she walked with a limp too, but they cleared her as a suspect. So let's take a look at Midlothian, Texas. This is the town where it happened. Population in 2018 was 27,000 people, just over 27,000 people. People ask, is Midlothian, Texas a good place to live? Midlothian is in Ellis County and is one of the best places to live in Texas. Living in Midlothian offers residents a rural feel, and most residents own their homes. Many families and young professionals live in Midlothian, and residents tend to lean conservative. The public schools in Midlothian are highly rated. And it's 25 miles southwest of Dallas. So small town, 27,000 people. Now, if you saw my if you watched my my Unsolved Mystery stream about the Circleville letters, I said that, you know, small towns harbor no secrets except the darkest secrets. I find it so strange that if the killer is from this town, people know him or her, and they have a very distinctive walk. It shocks me that somebody in this town, when they saw that surveillance footage, when they saw this surveillance footage from inside the church, that they didn't immediately go, well, that's Bob, or that's Susie. I'd recognize the way they walk anywhere. Same thing with the white car that was the Nissan Altima that was in the parking lot. It had a very distinctive sticker on the back of it. Someone in that small town would know the driver of that car if they're from that town. So I find it very, very hard to believe that if the killer here is from Midlothian, that people didn't immediately recognize that person based on their walk. Or, I mean, maybe this person tried to emulate the walk of someone with a very distinctive gait to try and, you know, lay the blame elsewhere. I don't know. And the case is still unsolved. Could it have been someone that worked at the church, like a security guard or a maintenance man or something, that was interested in her romantically, and she rebuffed them? Again, if they were an employee and they had that kind of gait, I mean, you'd think they'd, you know, you can put all the all the SWAT gear on that you've got, but I mean, the way you walk is a pretty distinctive characteristic of who you are. It had to be someone with deep ties to that building. No one would walk around a place like that totally nonchalant before planning to commit a murder. I agree. Yes. Whoever it was, they knew this building like the back of their hand. They were at as home in this building as they were in their own home. But I mean, there's no doubt this is definitely not a random crime. There's no doubt. There's not a random crime. And as popular as this case has been, anybody in the entire state of Texas, I mean, let's see, this footage has been viewed 203,000 times. Someone with that distinctive a walk, I mean, again, you'd be like, well, that's, you know, that looks like Bob. Bob walks like that. Or, you know, oh, Jeannie, she walks like that. But I mean, it's, yeah. Now, there's other videos on YouTube of like, believe it was like a podiatrist or something talking about the walk, and that, you know, this person has had some leg and feet issues, clearly. And there was, I think it was the same guy who, he analyzed the way that, watch how the suspect here opens, watch how they kind of, see, did you see what they did just there? Instead of craning their neck up to look up, they kind of, they arched their back to look up instead of using their neck. So, watch it again. He doesn't look up with his, see, he bends his back in order to look up. So he compared that with this footage here of the father-in-law. Now watch what he does here. See, did you guys see that? He did the same thing where he didn't really move his neck to look up. He kind of pushes his pelvis forward in order to look up. See? So this guy, this professional guy, I don't want to show the video because I don't know if he, you know, don't want to get my stream taken down or the archived version taken down, but he claims that, you know, there's no doubt that the person in the tactical gear and the father-in-law are one and the same because of that. But again, the father was supposedly in California the night that this happened. Thank you, Holly, for following. So I don't know. I mean, what do you guys think? I feel like when they open the half door, they are surprised it's only a half door. That means they don't know the church as well as you say. I mean, that's a possibility. That's a possibility. Hey, Holly, how are you? Two-man job. Father-in-law walks around making noise to draw her out while someone else waits for her to react and take her by surprise. I don't know. There's some footage here. Let me see if so here, when the suspect is trying to jimmy open this door, they stop and they reach for like their shoulder, as if maybe there's a walkie-talkie or something on their shoulder, or maybe they're just taking the whatever that piece is in their right hand and they're putting it into a pocket. I don't know, but what do you guys think? So you'll watch them kind of give up here, and the right hand goes for, looks like it's maybe going for something. Well, see that? So are they putting that piece away, or were they doing something with their shoulder? Like, is there a walkie-talkie there maybe? You can't really tell in the footage, but we'll watch it again. See? I don't know. Maybe they're doing both. Maybe they're putting the piece away and they're communicating on a walkie-talkie. I don't know. It's a hired gun, which means it's impossible to know who was behind it at this point. Possibility. It's a possibility. Could be keys or a screwdriver. Could be. The church had exterior cameras, yes, but they apparently were not working. Hey, Glows, what's up? How are you doing? I mean, it's a good possibility that it was a hired gun, but who hired them? I don't know. It's an interesting case. Who do I personally think it was? Oh, I see. I really don't know. I mean, I would not be surprised if it was a female, honestly. Because at first they said it was somebody 6 feet tall. Then they went back and said it's somebody between 5'2" and 5'7". I don't know. I don't know. There's something about, I don't know. There's something about it. I see feminine traits. I don't know. It's eerie. I mean, if the father-in-law didn't have what's apparently a strong alibi, I mean, the way he walks, the way he moves is pretty similar to that of the suspect. I don't know. Was the father-in-law really in California? Do they have absolute proof? Apparently they have enough proof that the police are happy with, because they can't. I know they have whatever with the son-in-law. It was proven through whatever the cell phone towers pinging his cell phone that he was where he said he, or at least his cell phone was where he said that he was. I don't remember if there's anything else with the father other than he was supposedly in California, and whatever his alibi, the police seem to be good with it. Yeah, clearly this person's got a lot of they've got some issues. They've got some issues with, their feet, their legs, their back, their neck. I mean, they're very stiff. They're very stiff. But I mean, if I don't know. I was going to say, if you're going to hire somebody to commit murder for you, why would you hire somebody in this condition to do it? You know what I mean? I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I said that earlier. I mean, that they could be possibly doing putting on the walk. Oh yeah. They knew this. They knew that there was surveillance cameras. So yeah, I mean, there's a good possibility they tried to cover it. Make it look like it's. Try and pin it on the father-in-law. I know. Yeah, that's my theory, Jobu. They had to kind of catch her by surprise. It's a strange one. It's a strange one. I am going to make myself big again. So no suspects for you guys. I don't know. I don't believe the father had been a police officer. It was the other suspect. The what was that dude's name? This dude. He was the former police officer and a tactical cop at that. Oh, well, I just realized you can't see him. That dude. That dude was a cop and a tactical officer at that. People have secret lives. I'd bet the crime stemmed from whatever else her family didn't know about. That's a good possibility. Because she definitely was keeping some secrets. There's no doubt about that. If a person or persons went to this length at this point, I'm more interested in what the wife was involved in. I really need a tan trench coat and a fog machine. The trench coat would get a little warm. Would get a little warm. Jeremy's in bed in Vidavler. Possibly the wife of the man Missy had an affair with, or a jealous lover. I mean, that's a possibility. That's a possibility. Or it could have been a hired gun hired by that person or persons. That's true, Glows. That's true. And sometimes you're talking about small town police, man. They're not used to. I think there hadn't been a murder in that town in many years before Missy had died, or before Missy was murdered. So you're talking about small town cops. Handling something as big as murder. Again, I mean, initially they thought the killer was 6 feet tall, and then they changed it to somewhere between 5'2" and 5'7". That's a big gap. You know what I mean? That was a big gap. No, we're not going to watch Halloween 4 tomorrow. We're probably going to do that one next Friday. Let's see, what is next Friday? Next Friday's the 7th. I think we might be doing that one next Friday. What was Jeremy's food of choice today? He wanted Sonic today. So he got a Sonic burger and some fries and a cherry Coke. And he was a happy fella. I mean, that's a good point, Jobo. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of what Lauren said. I mean, she may have had a secret life that nobody knew about. And, yeah. That could very possibly have been the cause. And if it's a secret life, then it's a secret, so nobody's going to really know anything about it and the other people involved. And I mean, it could just be one of those things that's it's never solved. The next game show is on the 10th. What day is that? It's a Monday. Yeah, I might be able to. Yeah. I just got a Sonic burger today too. Who does the cooking in my house? There's not a whole lot of cooking going on in this house. Not a lot of cooking going on at all. I am not much of a cook. That's a good question, Splinter. That's a good question. But everything I've read and listened to and watched about her really don't bring up her parents at all. What's a Sonic burger? You don't have Sonic drive-ins in the UK? They're pretty good, actually. Sonic is pretty good. Physical evidence, not that I'm aware of. There's still a lot of footage that the police have never released. And they're also kind of tight-lipped about certain aspects of the case that only the killer would know, not making those public. So there's still probably a lot about this that the police know that we don't know that they know. Yeah, Sonic does have good ice cream. They do have good ice cream, Aaron. No, we don't have Raising Cane's, Peyton. Sonic does have good ice, Robert. That's true. That's very true. Are there any unsolved mysteries you guys would like like to discuss on future episodes. I do want to do one of these videos talking about the Ray Rivera case from this new season of Unsolved Mysteries. I really liked it. You're driving Stone to Baltimore tomorrow morning. Interesting. Very interesting, Lauren. Well, have a safe drive. So I would like to do one of these on the Ray Rivera case. His is really interesting, and there's been a lot of new stuff on his, a lot of new updates on him recently. Lisa Lamb, Black Dahlia, D.B. Cooper. The Blind River Rest Stop Killer. I've never heard of that person. I've never heard of that. Paka something. Let me write that one down. Blind River Rest Stop Killer. Yeah, I'll have to look into that one. Yeah, that's the one. Influence Films. Ray Rivera. Try Russian food? They don't have any places around here that serve Russian food, so I don't think I'd. That's easier said than done, my friend. Rockers, have you read anything on the Black Dahlia? Any novels or anything on the Black Dahlia? That's an interesting case. D.B. Cooper's really interesting too. Did Epstein kill himself? Of course not. The Phantom Killer? Oh, yeah, that'd be a good one. That'd be a good one. Zodiac Killer. Yeah, there he is. Al is here. We just have to do an interview with Al. That's all that one would be. Am I aware of Jim Kent's Swim YouTube channel? No, I am not. The Freeway Phantom Killer, the Long Island serial killer. Blair Adams. I've heard of that. I've heard of that one. That's the guy who that was an old Unsolved Mysteries episode, if I recall correctly. Or no, maybe his name was, no, it was Blair Adams, I believe. The great UK one is the disappearance of Ricky Edwards. Band he was in, Maniac Street Preachers, are massive here. but never made it anywhere in the States. It's a fascinating story with loads of false turns. Yeah, I've never heard of that one, T-Bob. Dexter Stefanik. Yeah, that one sounds familiar. Nice review of The Wind. Yeah, the Wind was very good, Corporal Hicks. I really enjoyed it. Yeah, if you guys missed my review of The Wind today, I posted. Go check it out. I really like that movie. Yeah, somebody mentioned him, Ripper, the Phantom Killer. I'd love a live stream about the episode from the new Unsolved Mysteries about the woman that was cutting hair in. Oh yeah, yeah. That was a really good one too. Thoughts of Joy. Hey, how are you? Hope you and Jeremy are doing well. Well, thank you. Thank you very much. We're doing well. I hope you are. Yeah, I've done a Splatter University review. Zodiac. Changed his name to Zodiac. Region free, we're probably gonna start I want to say September, October, but we may do some shows before then, just depending on, you know, what kind of news drops. So, I don't know. We've not got a start date set just yet, but soon. Yeah, Dressed to Kill is good, Jeff. It's a good movie. You should see it. I'll have to look into them. Multi-Revelator. Madeline McCann. It sounds familiar. Beyond Belief, Fact or Fiction TV show. That one sounds familiar too, Envy Davler. I don't know if I have or not, but it sounds familiar. The Watcher House in New Jersey is interesting. Oh yeah, I've heard, yeah. I know about the Watcher House. Yeah, that one is kind of creepy. What did they call the kids in the house? The New Blood or the Young Blood or something like that? That was pretty creepy. What is that stream about? What stream, Aaron? Yeah, I hear you. Dave. No, Jobu. I'm not really a big fan of Midsummer, so I wasn't going out of my way to try and get the director's cut on 4K. The Kuna Larson. Yes, I remember that one, Steak Sauce. That one was sad, too. Scotland's most famous serial killer, Bible John. I've never heard of Bible John. Never caught to this day. Huh, interesting. I am interested in looking up the Blind River. Let me look up the Blind River rest stop killer real quick here, because I'm kind of... The Unsolved Blind River Rest Stop Murders. Oh, was this featured on Unsolved Mysteries? Yeah, it must have been. Yeah, season 5. Yeah. It doesn't ring a bell. I'll have to go back and rewatch that episode. Is there a different cut of Hereditary? I don't think so. Not that I'm aware of. The Watch Your House in Jersey, that one is kind of a creepy one. I was watching something about it just the other day, as a matter of fact. Yeah, the young blood. He sees the young blood through the windows, and it's creepy. Creepy. I'm going to take a quick break. I will be back momentarily. All right, sorry about that. Had to go get a refill. Just saw The Wind a few weeks back. Wingshauser was just way too over the top. He must have been a nightmare to deal with as a director. The director of that film pretty much said, yeah, he was not easy to deal with. Yeah. You like the waiting music? Did I see the Queen Mary ship haunting on Unsolved Mysteries? I probably did. I just don't remember it. A dance off. Oh, goodness gracious. Do we need to do a dance off here? Do we need to... let's see, we're at 48 likes on the stream. If we can get to 55, we'll have a dance-off. Oh, there's one entry. There we go. There's one. We've got one entrant. All right, we gotta hide him though. We gotta hide him. Let's see, who else can we add to the dance off here? We gotta hit 55 likes first though. I don't know. We may not be able to hit it. I don't know. Leatherface, an entrance, maybe. Mark Patton, maybe. All right, we've hit 55. Okay. All right, you guys asked for it. Entry number 1, Dennis Hopper. Entrant number 2, Mark Patton. Contestant number 3, Leatherface. Contestant number 4, For some reason, I can't think of his name. From Creepshow. Here we go. Hold on, we gotta have some better music here. Hold on. Hold on. So who's winning this thing? Who's winning this thing?
Stand up in the stream. I want to see y'all get off your feet.
Who's winning? Ed Harris, okay. Got some Ed Harris love.
I want to hear y'all scream it. Busy now. Oh yeah, the microphone explodes, shattering the mold. Angel got the hits like Taylor. Oh, I get the piss off the commode. The short shot, sure to make the bodies drop, dropping no copy. Yo, call us a co-op. Terror rain, stretch and quench in the thirst. The power dawns. That 5-center fisted gun.
Bucky!
On the face of your mother earth gets bigger. The trigger goes empty your purse. Rally round your family with a pocket full of pills. They rally round your family with a pocket full of pills. Weapons, not foods, not homes, not shoes, no need. Feed for the war, the cannibal. I want the quarter to the rubble. There used to be a library line to the mine cemetery now. What we don't know, keep the contracts alive and moving. They gonna burn the books, just remove them. Wild arms, warehouse, feelings of sales. Rally round your family, pocket full of pills. Rally round your family with a pocket full of pills. They rally round your family with a pocket full of pills. How much longer will we go on letting these bad horror movies come out with YouTubers using fake thumbnails to get you to watch it? Everybody get up! Busy now! Busy now! I need you to sing this. Biz on parade! Biz on parade!
All right, who's winning here? Who's winning? I see love for Crispin. I see love for Ed Harris. I see, let's see, Leatherface. Got some love for Leatherface. Where else we going here? A lot of love for Ed Harris. Dennis Hopper, Ed Harris, Ed Harris. Where's Christian Slater? Glover is hard to beat. Tim Capello, got some love for Tim Capello. Okay. I hear ya. The Hopper always wins. Glover, Mark Patton. Oh, geez, oh, Pete. Let's bring in a ringer here. Hold on. Let's bring in a ringer. If I can find a ringer. Let's bring in a ringer here. Oh my God. Piz has entered. Oh my God. It looks like I'm terrified of all this crazy dancing going on around me here. What are these crazy people doing? Oh my God. This is what the chat's turned into. This is what this is what the stream's turned into. So I'm gonna call it. I saw a lot of love for Ed Harris. During the dance off. Piz, we all go a little max sometimes. Thank you, Jurassic John, for the $2 super chat. Hey Piz, are slip covers important to me? Yeah, I mean, I like slip covers. They're not so important that I would spend crazy money just for a slip cover, but I like slip covers. So I'm gonna give it to Ed Harris. I'm gonna say Ed Harris was the dark horse there, you know, and I'm gonna say Ed Harris brought it home. Congratulations, Ed. I love these Unsolved Mysteries episodes. We're definitely going to do more in the future. Definitely want to do one on Ray Rivera. And I don't know, I'm going to read into the Blind River Rest Stop Killer some more. Look into them. The Talented Sundown Killer would be an interesting one too, I think. So, yeah. Piz, every time I see a review of a new Blu-ray from you, I give Arrow Video all of my lunch money. I'm sorry, Nico. I'm sorry. But if you got the Wind, you got a pretty good release and a pretty good movie. So, just watch Lost Boys, Jeff. Oh, Nico, your review for 8mm should be out tomorrow. I recorded that one last night after the 4-hour crazy stream. So surprised I had the energy after that long stream to do it, but I was like, yeah, you know, let's not make Nico wait. Summer's practically over, people. I mean, geez, it's going to be Halloween again real soon, you know? Let's see, what day is Halloween on this year? Saturday. Okay. Jeremy and I are planning on doing a Halloween stream in costume on Halloween. So that'll be fun. Exactly, Captain Halloween. Unsolved Mysteries to scare everybody and then dance off to kind of, you know, alleviate things. Yeah, Robert, I think in one of the like graphic novels or one of the comic books that are like Lost Boys sequels, this ex Tim Capello is a vampire killer. Yeah, doing the what I'd like to do is there's a really good documentary about the Phantom Killer that's on YouTube. It's not finished though. So I went to see the guy who made the documentary, or started the documentary, I should say. Because I was thinking, what a great, I could get him to come on during the stream and we could talk about it and kind of do a fact versus fiction thing. And unfortunately, he passed away recently. So I discovered he's no longer with us. But he would have been really cool to have somebody on the show. Ooh. The power's flickering. There's also an author who I think he still lives in Texarkana, he's kind of like the expert on the Phantom Killer. He's written at least one book about it. And I'd like to get him on the show too, but he's an older guy and I don't think he's on any kind of social media. So I was not a big fan of the Talent Traded Sundown remake when I first saw it. I've kind of been tempted to go back and rewatch it, but I don't know. There's Jay the Stingray. Stingray, what's up, man? How are you doing? I certainly hope not, Jedi. I have to say, Piz, this was a brilliant idea for a stream. I was thoroughly entertained. Okay, I'm glad. I'm glad, Dave. What was Halloween like in the 80s and 90s? I mean, the way that I remember it as a kid was like, the streets were just packed with people and, every house was giving out candy and it was just, it was awesome. That's my memories of Halloween as a kid and going trick-or-treating. Even into the 90s, like giving out candy and stuff. It seemed like there were lots of trick-or-treaters. But, I don't know. It's different. It was different then than it is now. Now, I've not given out candy or anything like that for years, as long as I've lived here, because I'm kind of away from everything here, so no trick-or-treaters here, unfortunately. But that was one thing I loved to do every year, was to decorate the house, get in costume, me and Jeremy get in costume, and hand out candy to kids. Oh, thank you, White Trash Jedi. Oh, thank you, Jeff. Glad you had a good time. Yeah, it seemed like even, those years where Jeremy and I were giving out candy, there weren't a whole lot of trick-or-treaters, it didn't seem like. I don't know if like the trunk or treat things have really cut down on trick-or-treating, or if, I don't know. Back in my day, the streets would just be packed and every house was giving out candy, and it was, that's my memories of Halloween as a kid. Have I heard of the case of the father poisoning his son? Yes. With his trick-or-treat candy for life insurance money? Yes, I have. Yes. Yes. That's where that urban legend began. It became much bigger than, it was just the father poisoning his son. It turned into, people giving out poison candy and everybody giving out poison candy and, parents having to taste test the candy. I remember my mother taste testing a lot of candy for me. The Unsolved Mystery streams are really grabbing me and creepy in a great way, but the dance off always afterwards, please. Yes. Yes. Gotta decompress a little bit, I don't know who that is, Savage Shot. Two kids showed up at your house last year, Jobu? There was one year Jeremy and I dressed up. I don't remember. I was Jason. I don't remember what Jeremy was. But we were handing out candy. And after everything was over with, I went inside and I started getting undressed. And I heard somebody banging on the door. So I figured it was some kids going around late. So I just kind of walked to the door. I didn't even put my mask back on or anything like that. I just walked to the door with the bowl of candy. And it was a grown man. And he said, can I take a picture with you guys? So he'd driven by and seen me and Jeremy standing outside giving out candy. And he liked our costumes. So he wanted to get a picture with us in our costumes. So I thought that was kind of cool. I also remember there were a couple of times, especially with some of the littler kids. Oh, thank you, Savage Shot. Like with the little kids, like the parents dragging them up to the door or up to the porch where me and Jeremy would be, and the porch would be, of course, decorated with Halloween stuff, and like the kids screaming and dragging their feet because they'd be so scared. Actually, I remember I used to get really excited like in August for Halloween and for decorating the house and dressing up with Jeremy and giving out candy. Yeah, I'd get really excited around August because that meant, okay, so the summer's winding down. It's almost fall, just a couple of months away. Some places have already started rolling out their Halloween stuff. And then like when Walmart would roll out all their Halloween stuff, early September-ish, early to mid-September-ish, I'd just be so happy. Just be so happy. Go down there and just buy all the crap to decorate the house and don't get to do that where I live now. But even where I lived before, trick-or-treaters, some years you'd have a pretty good turnout and some years you'd not. Would you say Fear.com is underrated? I've not seen Fear.com in a long time, but honestly, I don't remember Fear.com being really bad. I saw Fear.com in the theater when it first came out, and I remember liking it. And I've got it on DVD somewhere. I've maybe watched it a time or two on DVD, but I know it's got a horrible reputation, but I don't remember it being bad. It's not great, but I don't remember it being that bad. You see Christmas stuff in shops in September. They don't roll it out that quickly here, at least not that I've seen, the Christmas stuff. But now it seems like the last couple of years, maybe longer, even before Halloween in October, they'll start rolling out Christmas stuff, like in Walmart and places like that. In some places around here, they've already rolled out some Halloween stuff. Not a lot, but some Halloween stuff. Yeah, I love Christmas too, White Trash Jedi. I used to be all Halloween all the time, but I mean, I still love Halloween. Yeah, I mean, Jeff, Halloween is every day's kind of Halloween for me. But I've grown to really, I don't know. I really look forward. I think I look forward to Christmas more, honestly. Maybe the last couple of years at least. Grant F. Missy Bevers is a terrifying case. I mean, not only is it still unsolved, but he murders someone in a church in full riot gear. It's just bizarre, yes. It's very bizarre, Grant. Absolutely. You'll have to check out the stream once it gets archived. Because I go over the whole Missy Bevers case, or I went over the whole Missy Bevers case. So once the stream gets archived, definitely check it out. Halloween season starts July 5th. What do I think of Uwe Boll as a director, or Uwe Boll, I'm sorry, as a director? I don't think of him too highly as a director, but yeah. What movie that didn't get a franchise do you think most deserved one? I don't know. I mean, I'm kind of glad that some of them didn't, you know? I mean, you could have done sequels for The Burning, and you could have done sequels for, like, My Bloody Valentine. I think that the director did try to do sequels for My Bloody Valentine, and they just never happened. I don't know. I'm kind of glad those were one-offs, honestly. Yeah, kind of glad those are just one-offs. Why are you not looking forward to August, Jedi? How are you doing, Zach? You doing good? Just bought some overalls. Gonna be Tater Sack Jason clothes. That's cool. Jeremy wanted to be Jigsaw for Halloween this year, but I think I've talked him out of it, so I don't know what he's gonna be now. But I'm sure he'll figure it out. He'll let me know. Dredd deserved a franchise. Dredd was good. Dredd was a good movie, no doubt about that. I agree, Zodiac. I love Christmas horror. I love Christmas horror. We need some more Christmas horror flicks. Why don't people talk about Popcorn anymore? Great horror movie. I think most people probably haven't seen Popcorn. That one kind of flies under the radar. I'm not a huge fan of Popcorn, but I know it has a very loyal following. I think it's kind of a small following, but it's got a very loyal following. There's no doubt about that. Have I ever seen ghostly thrillers? Never seen. Is that the name of it? Ghostly? Is that what it's called? I've not seen Happy Death Day 2. I really liked Happy Death Day 1. But I've not seen the sequel. So yeah, just a reminder, everything in my TeePublic store is marked down 35%. So if you guys need some new horror shirts, hoodies, long sleeve tees, mugs, phone cases, any of that good stuff, there's the link in the YouTube chat. We drop the link on Twitch also. Ghostly Thrillers is one of my Halloween favorites. I was not a fan of the Prom Night remake. Yeah, I liked Ready or Not a lot to White Trash Jedi. I liked it quite a bit. I thought it was pretty good. Meat fries. Jeremy's not wanted meat fries in a while. I think he got burned out on them. He had, had to mix it up a little bit. Got a little burned out on the meat fries. They are good, though. They're very good. Favorite Halloween candy as a kid? Oh, man. I don't remember a particular favorite. I mean, just, anything chocolate. Gosh, I don't really remember a favorite, or I don't think I really had a favorite, to be honest. Steak sauce. You just ordered Ready or Not on Blu-ray. Cool. Yeah, I think Amazon had it for like $10 or something recently. I mean, that's pretty good. Pretty good deal. The Unsolved Mysteries team keep teasing a not your average ghost story later this year. What could they be referring to? I have no idea. I'm definitely intrigued. Three Musketeers are good. Three Musketeers, Milky Way, Snickers, Butterfinger, Baby Ruth. I mean, you can't go wrong with any of those. Nice Reese cup. I've got there's a bowl upstairs. Jeremy loves Reese cups, and I've got like a bowl of Reese cups upstairs just for Jeremy. I'm trying to cut back on a lot of that stuff, but Jeremy loves his Reese cups, the big ones, the little bite-sized ones. He's loves his Reese's. Prom Night 2 free to stream on Amazon, but I can't find a hard copy for under $75. What gives? It must be out of print. I've got the DVD, but but it must be long out of print. And I'm guessing it didn't get a Blu-ray. But Prom Night 2 is, Hello Mary Lou Prom Night 2 is very good. Let's see, did Prom Night 2 ever get a Blu-ray? Let's see. Hello Mary Lou Prom Night 2 Blu-ray. This must be a... It says no. No. Or maybe it got like a Region B release or something. Yeah, here's like a... No, that's a DVD. It's a good movie. I mean, it deserves it. You know, it should have a good solid Blu-ray release with some extras. Holy crap. Yeah, that old MGM DVD is going for $75 on Amazon. Good Lord. Let's see what it's going for on eBay. Here's one on eBay for $25. Free shipping. Brand new and sealed. $10 with one bid. Here's the Prom Night 1, 2, and 4. Brand new DVD set for $8. Nico. Buy it now, free shipping. Oh, you're welcome. Not a big fan of the Friday Night remake. I did see OCP did a review of the sequel to the remake, and he said he likes it. He says it's pretty good. I've actually got the Blu-ray for that when I picked up at a used bookstore for like $1, so I may have to actually check that one out. I have 2 and a crappy 4 movie DVD. I love M&M's too. M&M's or Skittles, I'm going M&M's. Yeah, I like whatchamacallits. I've not had one in a while, but whatchamacallits are good. Oh my God. Is Al from Russia still here? Are you still in the chat, sir? So last night, if you guys were watching my live stream from last night that went for like 4 hours, I had it where basically it was a live stream. It was a solo live stream that I was like, I'll put the invite link in the chat, and whoever wants to join can join. And I had a few folks join, and it was fun. It's a good time. And Al Suspiria, Al from Russia, the artist now known as the Zodiac Killer, joined. And at one point he fell asleep. And my buddy Corey, just sent me this image of him. So, hold on just 1 second. There he is. Zodiac Killer. Completely wiped out. Got his sleeping cap on. He looks like he's dead, actually, because, I mean, he's got like one eye closed, one eye like kind of half open. I mean, that was, that's pretty funny. But now he didn't last long, though, because like as soon as he was asleep for just a couple of minutes, and then like his phone died. Hold on a minute, guys. I'll be right back. All right, guys, I'm going to have to run. It's been fun, but yeah, Y'all, thanks for tuning in. I appreciate it. We'll do another stream in the very near future. We'll do another just kind of fun stream hanging out. And we'll do another Unsolved Mystery stream soon also. So, all right. Well, you guys have a great night. Thanks again for tuning in. Take care. And until next time, peace. Play you guys out with some... what am I going to play you out with? Let's see. Just play you out with the region-free music. Why not? All right. Thanks again for tuning in, people. Have a great night. Peace.